Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you today's feature event. It is 40 fast laps in the iRacing Advanced Legends Cup at South Boston. This is the top split, the best of the best, the top drivers that were on the iRacing service at the time this race was offered. Let's have a look at today's starting lineup. Starting in the 13th spot in car number 7, racing out of Central and Eastern Europe, that is Kamil Kaczynski. Starting in the 12th spot in car number 12, it's the Miller High Life Legends car of Alexis Henry, Alexis racing out of France. In the 11th starting spot, racing out of the Northwest region, it's David Hatton in car number 13. Starting 10th, racing out of Texas in the Haviland Legends car, it's car number 11 of Rowdy Chenard. Starting in the 9th spot in car number 8, racing out of the Mid-South region, it's the Dream Racing Legends car of Charles Hinkle. Starting 8th in car number 10, that's Graham Meek Jr. racing out of the United Kingdom and Ireland. Starting in the 7th spot in car number 9, racing out of the Carolinas, it's Justin Egan. Roger Woomer will start in the 6th spot in car number 5, Roger also out of the Carolinas region. Now, let's have a look at your top 5. Starting in the 5th spot in car number 4, in the ARA Legends car out of Hampton, Virginia, that is Anthony Crownover. Starting 4th in car number 2, he's going to show up on your screen as the bright green 00 car. It's the Alienware Legends car of Aaron Johnson out of Bailey, Colorado. On your telemetry in the bottom right, he'll show up as car number 2. Starting 3rd in car number 3, that's Robin Lariviere in the Logitech Legends car, Robin out of Canada. Starting 2nd in car number 6, it's Corey Hallett in the Shelburne Stevedores car, racing out of Germany, Austria, Switzerland region. And on the pole in car number 1, racing out of Oxford, Maine in the Bernier's Liquors Legends car, that's Tyler Cox. These drivers, the best of the best. The top split, the average I rating here a little over 2,200. Between these 13 drivers, they've scored 820 or more, a little more than that, victories in iRacing Advanced Series, mostly asphalt ovals. So a good field here with more than 800 wins. The pace car leads the field now. Should be ducking in anytime pace car is in. The 1 car of Tyler Cox hammers the throttle. It's going to be Cox taking a quick early lead, jumping out just in front of the 6 of Corey Hallett as Cox, Hallett. Then on the inside behind them, that looks like La Riviere. Johnson shuffles up high. But it sounds like there might have been a spin there early on. Looks like Hallett maybe had a little trouble. So we are looking at Cox, then Hallett, then Johnson. No, it's La Riviere. So Corey Hallett did spin. Boy, I'm really struggling here today, folks. So it's Cox, La Riviere, Johnson, then Crownover and Roger Woomer rounding out the top 5 as Tyler Cox leads the field. We're on lap number 3 of 40. Tyler Cox. And they're in a nice smooth race here in that 1 car. Cox out front, Robin La Riviere second. Johnson has dropped back a little bit. There's a little battle here with Aaron Johnson being passed by the 4 of Anthony Crownover. Johnson gets shuffled up high. Looks like the 5 of Roger Woomer also going to go by Johnson. Aaron Johnson struggling a bit here. We see Johnson stuck up on the outside now, as we're going to see Woomer trying to get by as well. Johnson, the odd man out, as it looks like once you get shuffled up, if there's some good cars, they're going to try to get themselves together and get around you. Johnson holding his own on the high side as we see the 1 of Tyler Cox and the 3 of La Riviere pulling away. Johnson looks like he's got a pretty good run off the turn here. He might be able to get back down in front of Woomer. Boy, they are close there. Roger Woomer on the inside, Johnson on the outside. Johnson trying to hold on to that outside line. Looks like Aaron Johnson's going to make that car stick. Johnson's going to settle back into the 4th spot. Let's hop up front with the 1 of Tyler Cox. It's Cox followed by La Riviere. He's in 2nd. Then Crownover, Johnson, Woomer. Those the top 5. Robin La Riviere trying to keep up with the flying 1 car of Tyler Cox. Cox, an outstanding Legends car driver on the iRacing series. Down the back straightaway, it's going to be the 1 of Cox followed by La Riviere. Then Anthony Crownover, Johnson in 4th. Woomer 5th, Hinkle 6th. David Hatton in 7th. Justin Egan in the 8th spot. Rowdy Chenard in 9th. And Graham Meek Jr. rounding out the top 10. Kamil Kaczynski's in 11th. Corey Hallett and Alexis Henry are 12th and 13th. Those 2 cars laps down after some on-track incidents. Out front, it's Tyler Cox with the lead. You can see Cox closing in on some lapped traffic. That lapped traffic looks like it might be the Miller High Life car of Alexis Henry. Henry currently 13th, 3 laps down. It is Henry in the Miller High Life car, as we see Tyler Cox beginning to close in on that 13 car. Cox trying to make his way around. Cox in the lead. He's going to pull it to the inside of the 12 of Henry. Henry is going to go another lap down. This will put Alexis Henry 4 laps down, I suppose. It's going to be Cox, LaRiviere. Johnson has made his way past Crownover. So it's Cox, LaRiviere, Johnson, Crownover, Woomer. Those the top 5 as we watch Robin LaRiviere go past the lapped car of Alexis Henry. Let's have a look at how they run on the field right now. I'm going to zoom in a little closer here where we can get a little better look. Up front, that's the 1 of Tyler Cox. Just behind Cox, the next car on the Speedway, the 3 of Robin LaRiviere. Behind LaRiviere, that's the 12 of Alexis Henry. Henry currently shown in the 13th spot, 4 laps down. Behind Henry on the Speedway, that's the 00 of Johnson. Johnson in 3rd. Behind Johnson, it's the 4 of Anthony Crownover. Crownover currently shown in 4th. Next car on the Speedway is the 8 of Charles Hinkle. Hinkle has moved into the 5th spot. Behind Hinkle, it's the 5 of Woomer. Then just behind him, that's the 13 of David Hatton. Hatton currently running in the 7th position. Behind Hatton, the next car on the Speedway is the 9 of Egan. Justin Egan currently being shown in 8th. Then behind Egan, that's the 10 of Graham Meek Jr. In the 9th spot. Behind Meek Jr., that is the 11 of Rowdy Chenard. You can see Chenard a little loose there, just about goes around in that Haviline Legends car. He currently rounds out the top 10. Next car on the Speedway behind Rowdy Chenard is the 6 of Corey Hallett. Hallett 1 lap down in the 12th spot. Hallett closing in on the 8. Looks like Charles Hinkle's been involved in an accident. Behind Hallett, that is the 7 of Kamil Kaczynski, the last car on the lead lap. Kaczynski currently shown in the 11th spot. And then behind Kaczynski, we are back around to your leader. That's the 1 of Tyler Cox. Cox out front. LaRiviere is 2nd. Johnson 3rd. Looks like there might be a battle developing here between Robin LaRiviere and Aaron Johnson. LaRiviere in the 3, Johnson in the 00. Johnson trying to close in. We're 18 laps into a 40-lap race. Laps click off very quickly at South Boston. Johnson looking to the inside. He's got to run as they go down into turn number 3. Johnson's going to make his way past Robin LaRiviere. Aaron Johnson's going to make the pass. They're down the front straightaway now into turn number 1. Aaron Johnson pulling away from the 3 of LaRiviere. He sets his sights on the 1 of Tyler Cox. Cox out front, a little over a second and a half ahead of Aaron Johnson. Let's go back up front with Tyler Cox. Cox all by himself up front. It's Cox 1, Johnson 2, LaRiviere 3, the 4 of Anthony Crownover in the 4th spot, David Hatton in 5th, Woomer 6th, Egan 7th, Meek 8th, Chenard 9th, and Charles Hinkle rounding out the top 10. Out front, it is all Tyler Cox. We're at the halfway point. Tyler Cox with a big lead. Johnson putting some distance between himself and the 3rd place car. Looks like Aaron Johnson closing in ever so slightly on the 1 of Tyler Cox. Johnson's dropped that lead from 1.6 seconds to 1.5. It's going to take a lot of laps and a lot of quick laps for Johnson to catch up to Tyler Cox. Either that or Cox will need to make some sort of mistake. Out front, it's Tyler Cox, followed by Johnson and LaRiviere. Tyler Cox doing a nice job. Looks like he's really running a nice smooth race, beginning to close in on some lap traffic. I believe that's the 7 of Kamil Kaczynski. Kaczynski, the last car on the lead lap, currently shown in 11th. We watch Tyler Cox roll through the turn and out onto the straightaway here at South Boston. Cox past the start-finish line, 17 to go, and we can see Tyler Cox closing in on Kamil Kaczynski. The lead over Johnson stabilized at about 1.6 seconds. Actually looks like Tyler Cox might be pulling away just a bit as he tries to find his way around Kaczynski in the 7. Cox through 1 and 2, now out onto the back straightaway. It's going to be Tyler Cox pulling away. Johnson in 2nd, Robin LaRiviere in 3rd. Let's hop back out and have a look at how they run on the Speedway. Out front, it is the 1 of Tyler Cox. Behind Cox in the 7 car, that is Kamil Kaczynski. Kaczynski being shown in the 11th spot, 1 lap down. Next car on the Speedway is the 00 of Aaron Johnson. Johnson currently being shown in 2nd. Behind Johnson, that's the 3 of Robin LaRiviere. LaRiviere in the 3rd spot. And just behind LaRiviere, that's the 4 of Anthony Crownover. Crownover currently being shown 4th. Behind Crownover, a little bit of a battle between the 5 of Woomer and the 13 of Hatton. Woomer to the inside here, and it looks like he's going to make the pass on David Hatton. So Woomer hops up into the 5th spot and leaves Hatton to drop to 6th. Behind Hatton on the Speedway, next car is the 12 of Alexis Henry. Henry currently being shown in 13th, 4 laps down. Behind Henry, it's the 9 of Justin Egan. Egan currently sits 7th, and behind Egan it's the 10 of Graham Meek Jr., Meek being shown in the 8th spot. Just behind them, it's the 11 of Rowdy Chenard. Chenard struggling with a little loose condition earlier. Looks like that car has tightened up and started to come to him. He's currently running in the 9th spot. Then behind Chenard, it's the 6 of Corey Hallett. Hallett currently in 12th, 1 lap down. Behind Hallett, that's the 8 of Charles Hinkle. Hinkle currently shown in the 10th spot, the last car on the lead lap. So Hinkle fighting to stay on the lead lap here as we watch this race unwind. The next car on the Speedway is the 1 of Tyler Cox. Cox 1, Johnson 2, LaRiviere 3, Crownover 4, Woomer 5. Johnson now trying to close in on Tyler Cox, but Johnson's dropped back just a bit. He's now 1.8 seconds back to the 1 of Tyler Cox. So Cox, with 10 to go, stretching the lead out by about 2/10 over the last 5 or 6 laps. Tyler Cox, a nice quick race car, and he is running out front. It is Cox 1, Johnson 2, LaRiviere 3. We're going to back off here and try to get a little different perspective. We're going to watch Cox come down the front straightaway. 8 to go this time by. Cox closing in on the 13 car. That's David Hatton. Hatton's dropped all the way back to 10th. He must have had some sort of an incident in traffic there. We can see maybe a little bit of damage on the left front of Hatton's car. So David Hatton dropping back to 10th. It's Tyler Cox in the lead. Cox trying to find his way around the lap car. Johnson about half a straightaway behind the 1 of Tyler Cox. Johnson now just over 2 seconds back as Tyler Cox begins to pull away. Cox 1, Johnson 2, LaRiviere 3. Johnson with a big gap between the 00 and the 3 of Robin LaRiviere. So it is Cox, Johnson, LaRiviere, but really not much racing on the Speedway now. The cars have spaced out pretty well. Looks like Tyler Cox got in a little strangely there and was a little tight coming out. And that's going to allow Johnson to close. Johnson's closed within about 1.6 seconds. So Aaron Johnson closes by several car lengths as Tyler Cox has to fight with the 13 of David Hatton. Cox goes ahead and begins to pull away now, stretching the lead ahead of Hatton by several car lengths. Hatton gets a little sideways. We're going to see if that impacts Johnson at all. Johnson just drives by. Aaron Johnson now close within 1.5 seconds of Tyler Cox as Hatton closes on Johnson coming out of the turn. Lap car trying to race for the leader here. Looks like Hatton's car is a little pushy in the center of the corner. Out front, it is Tyler Cox. Cox with 3 to go through the center of 1 and 2 out onto the back straightaway. Johnson has closed within about 1.6 seconds, but he's just not going to have enough. Tyler Cox is going to run away with this win. Tyler Cox comes down the front straightaway, past the start-finish line, 2 to go this time by. Tyler Cox 1, Johnson 2, LaRiviere 3, Crownover 4, Roger Woomer in 5th. Those cars, the top 5. There are 9 cars on the lead lap. Tyler Cox out of turn number 4 now onto the front straightaway. He'll take the white flag this time by. It's going to be Tyler Cox. He's 1 lap from victory in the iRacing Advanced Legends Cup. Aaron Johnson definitely closing. Johnson just doesn't have enough race car left here at the end. It's going to be Cox, Johnson, LaRiviere, and that's how they're going to finish unless something drastic happens. Cox out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. It'll be Tyler Cox with the win, followed by Aaron Johnson in 2nd. Robin LaRiviere will come home 3rd, followed by Anthony Crownover in 4th, Roger Woomer in 5th. Rowdy Chenard will finish 6th, Justin Egan 7th, Graham Meek will finish 8th, Charles Hinkle 9th, and Corey Hallett, it looks like, will round out the top 10. Quite a race from South Boston Speedway, the best of the best. This was the top split, and they did not disappoint as Tyler Cox put on a show in taking the win. That'll do it from South Boston Speedway. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.